What up, comrades? Oh, I remember. Anyway, so we finished Tanya, the Saga of Tanya the Evil, or the little military girl. It's so dramatic, the English translation, which isn't really a translation. It's just like a fun name that you can catch hold of. But my mic's kind of busted on my headset that I used to record this stuff, so it's a little floppy. So it's recording, but I'm gonna sound super quiet than normal. I'm gonna like super glue and tape it up, so hopefully this won't be an issue going forward. But for now, I'm gonna try to just talk loud and hopefully not be too crazy. I'm also going to refer to the website because it takes me so long to read these books that they all merge into each other when I'm trying to recall what they're all about. So I'm going to pull up fandom here and just kind of glance at the summary. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think I remember this starts now. Okay, so we start off, we get a dumb fucking letter from Mary Sue, who's terrible. Who's a Mary Sue? She sucks. She keeps getting beat by Tanya in this book and the previous book. But we're really hyper-focused on the Eastern Front, which, for all of you who are unaware of of world geography, this isekai world is somewhat set up the same. So the Federation, which is the Russians, with literally Joe Stalin leading their organization for some reason. He's the only one that like came through. This guy like really hates Joseph Stalin, I feel, because he's actually here being berated and making dumb decisions constantly. Otherwise, there's no other like historical figures like really fucking around doing anything. Anyway, so Tanya is fighting on the Eastern Front, and she's having some struggles because she's got like her little salamander Kampfgruppen or whatever, which is like it's like a brigade, pretty much. Is my understanding from being in like the U.S. military. It's somewhat equivalent. Sometimes they call it a regiment, but then they also call like battalions. Like they'll be like, oh, there's 2 battalions in this regiment, and I'm like, that's not how things work where I'm from. And I think the Japanese stuff is based on this, but I know maybe he's taking this from Carlos Zen, the author, is taking this from like actual German history. Like how they had it set up during that World War I, World War II period. I don't know. Anyway, what I do know is that, so the Salamander Kampfgruppen that Tanya's running, that she's now the lieutenant colonel of, which is kind of like, she's the commander. It's like a brigade. If you've ever served in the military, in the Army or the Marine Corps, it's like a brigade. So it's got, like, there's artillery, there's an armor company or something, there's the mages, and there's a couple, like, battalions of infantry. So she's got this whole group. And they're essentially trying to hold on to this town while being constantly attacked by, like, guerrilla fighters. And at some point she realizes, like, hey, it's actually a really fun part. She's like, oh, I can't believe these people are all so committed to communism, blah, 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 blah. And she has got like an MP unit that's there doing interrogations and stuff. And then at some point she's like, I feel like they're fucking messing up. And it's because of her homie, oh shoot, what's her fucking name? Her adjutant, I hear the name so much, I don't know why I can't recall it. Anyway, her adjutant is from the Federation. That's where she was born, and her parents like fled there when communism struck. So she's fluent. So she was like talking to somebody, and she comes in and she's like, actually, I don't think they're fighting for communism. They're fighting for their homeland. And Tanya's like, the fuck? And so she takes her and Captain Weiss, who becomes Major Weiss in this book, out to kind of investigate what's going on. So she interviews some people with Sakurgov, something like that. Srebniov? It's like Srebniov. Yeah, something like that. And they find out that these people are just fighting for their homeland because they actually don't like the communists, but you know the empire is coming and fighting them on their home turf. And it's like, well, they got to fight back because otherwise they're going to get killed, they're going to get overtaken. And Tanya's like, hot damn, I figured it out. So then she heads back to Berlin or whatever and is like, hey, we need to be friends with these people. I know it's completely against all our military doctrine, but if we can, oh fuck, what is this? Some major traffic. Good. All right. So God damn it. If we can be friends with these like separatists, then that may be beneficial to us in the long run, helping us be able to fight the Federation, because the Federation's so big and there's so many groups, but the groups they're not fighting for communism. They're fighting for like 1,000 other reasons. So if we can get that figured out, then we'll be able to be better off. And they're like, I don't know, like General Zuter and the other one, Uger or whatever. They're like not a big fan of the idea, but they start to slowly realize that the only way they're going to win this battle of like attrition is if they make friends with all the little groups, and they're able to do that. Meanwhile, the Federation, led by Loria, who's the guy who's got a real hard on for Tanya because he's a super perv. Him and the Commonwealth like essentially join forces, and the Commonwealth promises to bring them stuff. They're not going to get directly involved with fighting on the Eastern Front, but because they haven't really gotten involved at all, they're going to send supplies. So Tanya gets an order to take the 203rd Aerial Mage Battalion and head to the north to stop this ship. And so she goes, and there they meet a bunch of Marine mages from the Commonwealth, and they also meet this group, the Mary Sue's group of aerial mages, and they have like a battle, and they're able to like do some damages and cause some problems, but they're not able to stop the ship completely. And then they also lose some people, which she's super pissed off about, because I think she lost 10 mages, which is like a super big deal, because now she's getting fresh recruits, and she's just not a fan of that at all. Because 10 mages is like a whole company's worth, if I remember correctly. So she's super sad about that, but then she gets some information that they did more damage to the ship than they thought, and that it's like in dock being repaired. And she's like, dun dun dun, time to fuck them up. So there's Federation mages are finally back, right? Because they Comrade Stalin like got rid of them all because he's an idiot. And they're joined by, we got the Mary Sue and everyone else and the Marine mages, and so they're all back defending this ship when Tanya comes for her second strike in the dock. But this time, they're able to sink it. Yeah, they're able to sink it, if I remember. Yeah, they definitely sink it. And so then they're like, oh, fuck us. And Loria, instead of being like, oh, man, we fucking lost this thing, and the Commonwealth's mad about it, and all this shit, he's like, ooh, Tanya's back. I got a real hard on. I'm going to go touch myself some more, like a real creepy douchebag. And then there's like a little moment. We see all the injured and dead people, and like the people from the Entente Alliance, like Mary Sue and them, they want to like be buried in their homeland, and there's some disagreement because the Commonwealth buries people where they die, and they don't want to be offended. They don't want to show offense to the Federation. And then we meet some Federation chick who may or may not be important and come up later, but she's like a political officer, and so she's like, no, that's cool. You can do whatever. No big deal. And then Tanya is back in the East again after she took care of that problem. And she's trying to train these people, and she's trying to get her organization. And there's an asshole guy who keeps disobeying her orders. And then there's like a captain, and then there's like an infantry captain, and then like a Lieutenant Thompson who is like trying to defend him. And Tanya is losing her mind. She's like, I'm gonna fucking kill everybody. Anyway, so they hold off a brigade of the Federation people, and again they're just like it seems like they're just sending like random groups of dudes at them, and they're just not really doing that well. But the one captain, Thorn or something, he like disappears. And at some point, the best part is that Tanya's like, I wonder if I'm homosexual because I'm like a dude in a little girl's body, so I'm not really attracted to men. Like I'm still attracted to women, but does that make me lesbian? Because I'm actually a guy. It doesn't go on long about this, but it was kind of funny. It was like she was just like so happy that they defeated these people and didn't really suffer that many losses, and that her armor and artillery officers were so fantastic despite the one infantry officer being such a shitbag. And she's just like, this is so good. This is great. And then there's like a little party after this whole moment where the Commonwealth and Federation are like, oh, we're so happy to be allied and we're going to work together for the greater good of both nations by destroying the evil empire and blah, 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 bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. But then they get news over the wire that, the this group of separatists, this huge group of separatists, like the Chechens or something, right, in our real world equivalent, or the Ukrainians or something, is like allying with the Germans because they're like, fuck communism. And then Lieutenant Colonel Zutor, I think, or Zator, he makes this big speech about how the Reich is not going to take any territory away, and that he wants to help them establish their own governance, and that they set up like a civilian government that is outside the reach of the communists, and so they're essentially making their own country right now, and that's where the book rounds out. And so excellent, again excellent. There's it's like 3 big battles. Tanya developing more as a character, and just the utilization of all her troops and the maneuvers and stuff. So this volume was very good. I enjoyed every aspect of it, and we got 3 more to go, and then I guess that's it, because that's all they've done the audiobooks for that I could find. So yeah, cool. Catch y'all later.